So our first topic for the term is on simultaneous linear equations. Okay, so before we get to that, we need to be very good at graphing lines, straight lines. Okay, and that's why they're called linear. Okay, so let's try this example. The simplest way to graph a line is to do a table of values. Okay, so we're going to complete the table of values for this line, and then for the next part we're going to plot these points that we're going to come up with, and when you join them you should get a straight line. Okay, because this is the equation of a straight line. Remember, this is the form y equals mx plus c. Yeah, that will always give you a straight line. Okay, so let's get started with this table of values. Okay, so the rule is it's good to write your equation right above the table, so it's always there as a point of reference, because you're going to need it to work out the y values. And these numbers here, you can choose any numbers you want, but it's good to have a couple of negative ones and a couple of positive ones, and it's good to use whole numbers because they're easier to work with, that's all. But and for sketching as well. Okay, so let's have a look. So y equals 3x minus 2 is our rule. So what happens when x is minus 2? What's the y value? When x is minus 1, what's the y value? And so on. Okay, so that's what you need to do. So when x equals minus 2, y equals, well, y, the rule for this line, the equation of the line is 3x minus 2. So we go 3x minus 2, which is 3 times negative 2 minus 2. And of course, with order of operations, you do the multiplication first. 3 times negative 2, well, that's negative 6. And negative 2, final answer, negative 8. And you've got to do that for all of them. But see how quickly you can do that? You just substitute the number and work it out. Okay, so when x equals minus 1, y equals, so 3x, can go 3 more times, minus 1 minus 2, minus 3 minus 2, and that is minus 5. When x equals 0, that's a quick one. When x is 0, you'd get 3 times 0, which is 0, yeah? So y equals 3 times 0 minus 2, y equals, well, that's 0 minus 2. So when you substitute 0, you're going to get the constant, okay, because x is 0. We'll keep going. When x equals 1, y equals 3 times 1 minus 2. Well, 3 times 1 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. When x equals 2, y equals 3 times 2 minus 2. Well, 3 times 2 is 6, minus 2 is 4. Okay, so let's put all these numbers in the table. When x is minus 2, y is minus 8, so we'll put that there. When x is minus 1, y is minus 5, put that there. X is 0, y is minus 2. X is 1, y is also 1. X is 2, y is 4, which is that last one we did, yeah? And x is 2, y is 4. Okay, so for the next part of the question, we need to plot these points and join them to make a line. Okay, so it's always good to be neat, because eventually we're going to use to solve problems graphically. So it's important that you have an accurate graph, because otherwise when you read information off it, you may not get the right information. Now my numbers on the y-axis go from negative 8 to 4, so I think I'm going to break this up like this. Okay, so you don't actually have to plot every single point, but it's important for us to do this so you get the practice. Minus 8 at the bottom there. Okay, here we go. And then our x values go from minus 2 to 2. Okay, that's the x and that's the y. Okay, let's plot these points. So they go together. They're ordered pairs. When x is minus 2, y is minus 8. So you go to x equals minus 2, and you go down to minus 8. That's our first point. Our next point, when x is minus 1, y is minus 5. Minus 1, minus 5. Okay, that goes here. When x is 0, y is negative 2. All right. And then x is 1 gives us y equals 1. X is 2 gives us y equals 4. Okay, you should get a straight line. Now my scale is not perfect, so it is, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty good. So if you get some weird, like a curve or a line that's not straight at all, then you know you've done something wrong somewhere, and you should go back and check you're working out. And it's good to write the equation of the line on the line, because eventually we're going to be graphing more than one on the same number plane. And if you write the equation of each line, you can keep track of which one is which more easily.